something is true or right, and then backing it up with evidence. And we're going to take that a little bit further now. Usually a claim is not a fact, something that can be proven true or false, but it's more of like an opinion that's based on evidence. So that means there may be people who have an opposite claim or a different claim than you, a different opinion about the topic. So I wanted to point a couple things out. On the board up here, which should still be up here today so you guys can see it. So we have an argument here. A claim, which we've learned about, is kind of your opinion. You're saying something is right or something is true. And then you back that up with evidence. There's something known as an opposing argument or an opposition argument. Or it could be an opposing claim too. Think of a team. Your team, who is the opposition? It's the other team, right? So when you're talking about a claim or an argument, an opposing argument or an opposing claim would be a differing opinion. So someone who would disagree with your claim. Okay? And usually they would have evidence for that too. And then finally, there's something known as a counter-argument. A counter-argument is when you take someone else's claim and you try to show how it's wrong or why you still don't agree with that claim. Okay, so to illustrate, I've tried to create an example on the board here that you can think of about with your parents. So imagine that you really wanted an iPhone, okay, and your claim is that you think you should get an iPhone. So you're going to talk to your parents about this. So you might start with the claim, I think I should have an iPhone, Mom and Dad. And here's my evidence, my reasons why. One, I could use it to stay organized in school. You know, there's an app for My Connect that would help me, you know, really quickly and easy see what my homework is, see what my grades are, that kind of stuff. There's also an app for Synergy, so same thing. You might also say, I've been really responsible lately, I've been doing all my work, I have good grades, and I've been a good kid. Okay, so there's your claim. Now, your parents, as you probably know, might have a differing viewpoint or a different claim, an opposing argument. And sometimes when you make an argument, it's good to beat the other side to it. So this is the opposition argument. So you might say, Mom and Dad, I want an iPhone. It'll help me stay organized, I can be good. I know that you're probably going to say, and so this is addressing an opposition argument. You'll probably say, Mom and Dad, that iPhones are too expensive and, you know, I'm only in middle school, I might not be very carefully, and it can easily be broken. So I understand that, Mom and Dad. You know, I know they cost an iPhone 6, a new one is $600. I also know, and I understand, I see lots of kids at school every day drop their phones, break them, or kids who have the screens broken. So I know, and I understand, Mom and Dad, that you might think it's too expensive and I might not be careful. That is an opposing argument or an opposition argument. Usually you bring it up ahead of time, though, to show the other side that you've thought about it from their perspective. Okay? So there's the opposing argument. Now, the counter-argument is where you say, I understand that you might think this, but the counter-argument is where you tell them why you still don't agree with that. So, knowing that they might say it's expensive and it's easily breakable, here's your counter-argument. You might say, so again, you said, Mom and Dad, I understand you might think it's too expensive and breakable, but I don't want an iPhone 6. What I think I should get is an iPhone 5S because now that the 6 is out, the price on the 5S has come down. So I don't want the most expensive one. I want a cheaper one. And number two, it costs $3 a month to pay for insurance for a phone, and that means if I broke it, it would be covered. I could get a brand new one for free. And I will be willing to use my own allowance to give you guys $3 every month to pay for that insurance. That way, if I break it, you wouldn't have to buy me a new one. I could get a new one because it's covered under the insurance. So that's an example of a claim and then addressing an opposing viewpoint or an opposing argument and coming up with a counter argument to that opposing argument. The reason I'm introducing this to you guys is because we're going to take that next step in writing our claims. You're going to have an assignment today where you have to make a claim about what you think Ponyboy or Johnny or both of them should do as far as, you know, they've run away now. Should they turn themselves in? Should they keep running? Should they split up? Should one of them turn themselves in? Anyway, you're going to make a claim and you're going to provide some evidence to back that up from the book, why you think they should do that. Next class, everyone's going to post their claim, their argument for Johnny and or Pony on the discussion board. Part 2 of the assignment next time, I'm going to assign you to go back in to the discussion board. At that point, you'll be able to see what everyone has written. You're going to pick someone's claim, and you're going to introduce an opposing viewpoint or an opposition argument to that claim. So if someone has written, you know, Ponyboy should ditch Johnny and turn himself in, then part 2, you might go in and explain why someone might say Ponyboy shouldn't ditch Johnny and turn himself in. And you're going to give evidence for that. And then the third part of the assignment, after that's done, a few classes down the road here, you're going to have a third part where you're going to have to go back in again. You're going to have to pick someone's opposing argument, and you're going to have to make a counter argument to that. Okay, so we're going to kind of build step by step all these 3 pieces. Okay, so that's a claim, an argument, an opposing argument or opposing viewpoint, and a counter argument. I hope you got it.